Good morning dear students. In this class we are going to see a new technique called CRYPT STEGO, which is used for secured information communication. It is a hybrid technique. It is a combination of two existing techniques, namely cryptography and steganography. Now let us see the techniques in detail. Cryptography. What is cryptography? That is, the sender sends the information using encryption and the plain text is converted into a ciphertext. What is ciphertext? The ciphertext is nothing but the plain text encrypted with the key, and it is in a gibberish form, so that any middleman or hacker cannot do anything with the text. At the receiving end, the ciphertext is decrypted with the same key and it is again converted from the ciphertext into the plain text form. So, this is the simple introduction about cryptography. And regarding the types of cryptography, there are two types of cryptography exist. In the first type, it is called plain cryptography or symmetric key cryptography or single key cryptography. In this type of cryptography, both the sender as well as the receiver uses the same key for encryption as well as decryption. So, only single key is used by both the sender as well as the receiver. In the second type of cryptography, it is called public key cryptography or asymmetric key cryptography. Here there are two keys involved. The sender encrypts his message using the private key and the receiver decrypts it using the public key. One thing we have to note here, any information which is encrypted with a particular private key can be decrypted only with the associated public key. So, any text which is sent encrypted using the private key can be decrypted only with the public key associated with the private key. So, this here in this case of cryptography, that is asymmetric key cryptography or public key cryptography, you need two keys, that is the private key as well as the public key. Whereas in the case of single key cryptography, that is symmetric key cryptography, you need only one key and that is called the private key. So, these are the two types of cryptography. So, here the this is the slide which shows you the symmetric key crypto system. So, the sender sends the plain text and it is encrypted with the key Ka, and it converts into the ciphertext and it is decrypted using the same key by the receiver and it is again converted into the plain text. So, this is about symmetric key cryptography. Here allies, this is a slide, this is a pictorial representation of the symmetric key or single key cryptography. So, here the allies is the sender, he sends the message that is in the clear text or plain text form and it is encrypted using the key. So, encryption takes place there, it is converted into the ciphertext, again the ciphertext is received by the receiver, he decrypts it using the same key and the receiver here is Bob. So, he decrypts using the same key to convert the ciphertext into the plain text. Next comes the second type of cryptography, which is the asymmetric key cryptography. So, here there are two keys involved, one is the private key and another is the public key. As I already told you, a message which is encrypted with the private key can only be decrypted with the public key associated with it. So, when you see the flow chart, X is the message and K is the key, enciphering takes place, that is encryption, and it gives the ciphertext. At the receiving end, decryption takes place associated with the public key K dash and it decrypts it into the plain text. So, this is the flow chart of the asymmetric key crypto system. So, these are the two types of cryptography. So, when you see the notations, how these encryption and decryption can be written. See, C is equal to, that is C is nothing but the ciphertext, and the ciphertext can be obtained as encryption of K comma P, that is K is the key which is used to encrypt and P is the plain text which is to be encrypted. And the same way, how do you get back the P in the receiving end, that is the plain text, that is D, that is decryption of K, that is using the K key, that the key is K, and C the ciphertext. So, by decrypting the ciphertext using the key K, you can get back the plain text. These are the notations used for cryptography. Now, let us move on to the next technique called steganography. So, cryptography we have seen two types of cryptography, one is private key and another is public key. Next is the technique called steganography. This can also be used for secured information communication, and this steganography is a Greek word. Why it is called steganography is it means covered writing. That is, it derives its word from the Greek word. Stegnos means covered, graphy means writing. So, steganography means covered writing. In the method of steganography, the plain text, ciphertext, that combination does not exist. Here, the secret message which is to be transmitted is hidden in an image file, or it can be a text file. So, here the same, that is the secret message is hidden inside a carrier file. So, this is a method called steganography. It is covered writing. So, if you see, this is just a paragraph. This is an example of steganography where a text is embedded in a text. So, when you just see this paragraph, we can just read it as President's embargo ruling should have immediate notice, etc., etc. But it has some meaning for only the intended recipient. So, how he retrieves the text from this paragraph is, he will take out all the first letter from the paragraph. So, he will take out all the first letters from the paragraph. So, it reads as Pershing sails from New York on June 1. This is the hidden information in the paragraph. So, if you take the first letter alone, P from president, embargo, E from embargo, R from ruling, etc., it gives the secret coding, that is Pershing sails from New York on June 1st. So, this is an example for steganography wherein a text is embedded inside another text. So, what are the terminologies used in steganography? We are using three terminologies, that is, we are using cover medium, embedded medium and stego medium. Cover medium is the one which is going to carry the information, and embedded message is the one which is the secret message, which is going to be transferred secretly, and then stego medium is the one which is the carrier medium along with the secret media. This is the terminologies used in steganography. So, in characteristics, as long as the characteristics of steganography are concerned, we have to consider three things. What are they? The first one is the capacity, second one is the security, and third one is the robustness. So, while embedding any information into another carrier file, first capacity should be considered. We cannot embed a 4 GB file into a 2 GB file, right? So, capacity should be given at the most priority. The second thing is security. How secure that carrier file is, that is to be considered. And third one is robustness, that is how strong that carrier file under attacks. So, these three things should be given priority when steganography techniques are used. Now, these three characteristics can be explained using this magic triangle. This is called magic triangle because these three characteristics of steganography, that is capacity, security and robustness, there should exist a trade-off between these characteristics. That is, capacity should not be compromised under any circumstances if it is a naive steganography. Same way, if it is the steganography technique is used for secured communication, security should be given at the most importance. Same way, the steganography is used for digital watermarking. For example, copyright protection, audio file, video file, you would have seen, that is, the company would have embedded its logo into the video or audio file. In such case, the steganography technique alone is used. That is called digital watermarking. If it is the case, then robustness should not be compromised. In any case, the company logo should not be destroyed. So, this watermarking is one of the applications of steganography. So, we have seen the three characteristics of steganography. What are they? That is capacity, security and robustness. Now, what are the carrier files? What are the files that can be used as carrier files in the case of steganography? Some of the image files as well as audio files can be used for steganography. That is, the image file may be a bitmap file, BMP file, or a JPEG file, or a GIF file. If it is an audio file, it can be in any format like WAV file or MP3 file. So, any file in this format can be used for steganography carrier files. Now, let us see how this steganography works. Any image is made up of what? Any image is made up of? All the images are made up of pixels, P-I-X-E-L-S, that is pixels. This pixel stands for picture elements. Each image file is made up of so many pixels. What are these pixels? Any pixel is a combination of only 3 colors. These 3 are the basic colors. From these basic colors, we can get any combination of colors. What are the basic colors? What are the basic colors? That is red, green and blue. These 3 are the basic colors. So, any pixel is made up of only these 3 colors, that is RGB. So, a pixel is made up of 24 bits or 3 bytes. For red 1 byte, and for green 1 byte, and for blue 1 byte. All of you know, I think 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. So, 1 pixel is made up of 24 bits or 3 bytes. If any information, secret message, can be embedded into the least significant bit of each of these colors. So, just imagine a pixel is made up of 3 bytes, and in 3 bytes means it is 24 bits, that is 1 byte equal to 8 bit. So, if you alter the least significant bit of each color, the color won't vary much. It cannot be visible to the human eye. This is the basic principle of steganography. So, you can see any pixel can have a color of a maximum of 1,67,77,216 colors a pixel can take. So, if you alter only the least significant bit, it won't vary much. This is the basic principle of steganography. So, this is an example. You can see an example here. See, the image which is to be hidden is just a message, 1 byte message, that is 01000001. This is 1 byte, that is 8 bits. This is going to be embedded into a pixel, 3 pixels. We are going to take 3 pixels because each pixel we can embed only 3 bits. So, in order to embed 8 bits, we require 3 pixels. So, first in the first column you can see the pixel 1, pixel 2 and pixel 3. So, there in the second row you can see the bits, that is the bits from the message embedded into the pixel 1, 2 and 3 in the least significant bits. So, there in the image with 3 pixels, that is the original color, that is the yellow, and the last new image gives the yellow, same yellow color image without any modification in the color, because only the least significant bit is modified. It is not visible to the human eye. So, you can see in this color, in the first row it gives only the first bit is changed. Second row gives the 16th positional value is changed. So, how each byte, that is each color is represented by 1 byte, that is 8 bit. So, can we change all the 8 bits? Can we hide information all the 8 bits? No. You can hide information only up to the 4 bits. After that, the image gets deteriorated. It is visible that it has got some hidden information in it. That is what this slide shows. Up to 16th positional value, you can hide information. See, here this is the color scale of the different colors, that is red, green and blue. If you look into the scale, you can see that is 16th positional value, there is not much difference in the colors, red, green and blue, there is not much difference even if it is changed by the bit. After that, the color gets degraded. So, the color variation will be visible to the user only after the 16th positional value. Till then, even if the bit is altered, it is not visible to the user. So, this is the technique which is used in the steganography. See these images, both the images are looking similar, but they are not so. The left side is the carrier file, and the right side image has got some information hidden in it. It has got 4862 hidden letters in it. Is it visible to you? No, both are similar, both are identical. Nobody knows that the second right image has got some information in it. So, when you see the size of the file, so you may think that we are going to hide an information into a image file. Will it enlarge? Will the image size will become larger? No, it is not the case. If it is in the bitmap file, the size does not vary because it is in the uncompressed form, whereas JPEG image is a compressed form. If you use the steganography technique for JPEG images, little bit increased, the JPEG file will be size will be little bit increased. This is another example. We have seen that up to 16th positional value you can hide information into the image file. So, if you look into this picture, see first image says the first bit alone is modified. The second image says only the second bit is modified. So, when you see up to 4th bit, the image does not deteriorated. After that 5th bits and 6th bits are changed, there is slight degradation in the image. So, up to 4 bits you can change the bit to hide the information. Now, we have seen elaborately about the two techniques, cryptography and steganography. So, in cryptography what happens? The plain text is converted into a ciphertext using the key, whether it is private key or public key, and it is sent to the receiver. At the receiving end, what the receiver does? He decrypts the message using the symmetric key or the public key based upon the system, whether it is a symmetric key cryptography or it is a asymmetric key cryptography. In the case of steganography, there is no point of plain text or ciphertext. The secret message is hidden inside a image file. So, these two techniques are combined to create a new technique called CRYPT STEGO. So, this is the comparison of the cryptography and steganography. So, how the CRYPT STEGO works? So, in the sending end, the sender first encrypts the plain text into the ciphertext using the method encryption, and it is hidden into the secret carrier file using the method steganography. So, what is the output of this technique? From the sending end, the receiver end receives only the STEGO image. What the STEGO image has? It has got the ciphertext created by the sender embedded into it. This is what is happened in the sending end. So, the sending end, the plain text is encrypted into the ciphertext using a key, and it is embedded into the carrier image using the technique called steganography, and the STEGO image alone is sent to the receiver. So, at the receiving end, what the receiver does? The reverse process, the entire thing is to be reversed. So, the receiver upon receiving the STEGO image has to retrieve back the ciphertext using the same steganography algorithm, and then applies the decryption technique using the key to retrieve the plain text. So, this is how the new technique called CRYPT STEGO works, which is nothing but a combination of cryptography and steganography. Now, let us compare. Why should we hybrid these two techniques? Let us compare the two techniques separately. That is, cryptography is about protecting the content of the message, whereas steganography is about concealing the very existence of the message itself, because in the case of steganography, the STEGO image has the secret file embedded in it. Nobody knows it has a secret image in it. So, it conceals the very existence of the secret file. And in the case of steganography, the message still exists, but it is in the ciphertext form. It is not hidden. The text still exists, but it is not in the plain text form. It is in the ciphertext form. It is gibberish. Nobody else can read it. Whereas here in the case of steganography, nobody knows. It is not at all visible to anyone else. It is not visible. Same way, in the case of cryptography, a third person is allowed to alter or to delete the message, because it is in the ciphertext form. It is available to the third person. He may even delete a character, he may alter a character, whatever he wants, he can do with the ciphertext. Whereas in the case of steganography, the intruder or the third person is not allowed to do anything with the secret image. So, the thing is, if we compare these two techniques, it will increase the security of the information which is communicated. When security should be considered as a balance of protection as well as availability. We should not protect any information so that it is not available to anyone. It should be available to the intended recipient with the utmost protection. Same way, we should not make the information available to everyone and it is not protected. So, both should not be compromised. protection as well as availability should not be compromised, and there must exist a trade-off between the protection and availability as far as this information security is concerned. So, this CRYPT STEGO provides the best method for any secure communication. So, any information is a treasure and you have to preserve it with pleasure. If you have any doubts or clarification regarding this new technique, you can always send me mail. My mail ID is given, umainweb@gmail.com. Thank you.